Liberty men's tennis, fresh off their appearance in the Southern Intercollegiate down at the University of Georgia. Here to tell us more about it, head coach Chris Johnson. 12-12 in singles, 1-4 in doubles. Give us a recap of the weekend and how it went for you.
Well, we've been to Georgia several times, and it never gets any easier. Right from the first round, there's just no easy matches. So, believe it or not, compared to some of the results we've had in the past, in singles, we did really well. In doubles, we struggled a little bit. Obviously, the results showed that, but we played some really tough teams too, some ACC teams and such. And it's kind of one and done in doubles, so you don't get a second chance. But in singles, we really performed well. Some of our returning guys performed well, and some of our new guys beat some five-star kids for some other schools. And so, just from overall in singles, I was thrilled.
You mentioned one of the wins over the five-star Sam Matheson had a big one. So break down that match and why he was so successful.
Well, two big wins for Sam all on the same day, which kind of hurt him for the second day, but he ended up with 6 sets in one day. So the first match that he had was a recruit for Georgia, and a blue chip kid, number 8 in the United States right now on the Tennis Recruiting Network, and Georgia got him. I saw him play in London. I saw him play down in Florida this year. So I've seen him play a few times, so I had an idea what to do, and he still beat Sam pretty well in the first set. And Sam's a trooper. He came back in the next 2 sets and just beat him. And that was a big win for us to get through that first match. And then in the second match, he played an All-American from Georgia Gwinnett. That's the team that's won the national championship 2 years in a row in NAIA. The kid's like 24 years old, and he's just an incredible professional player, actually. And so he beat him in 3 sets. The guy actually retired. Sam wore him down so bad. So just an incredible day of tennis for Sam. And, for our program, it happened right on the front courts of the Georgia Tennis in front of everybody, so It was a big moment for our program.
What do you take away from this past weekend? What have you told the guys as you prepare to take some of them to California this weekend?
Well, yeah, going into the Futures Tournament, the pro tournaments this weekend, we're working on point structures.
Okay.
We're working on staying in the points, being fitter and stronger than the other teams. And, I really give a shout-out to our strength and conditioning staff and to Lauren Jones, our new dietitian. She's really helping us a lot with some things and just getting these guys fit and prepared to play. So, they play well, and we've got the shots, we've got the game. We just want to make sure they're fit to go as long as they need to go.
We've talked about these pro tournaments that a lot of the recruits are looking to see who's playing in these. We talked about you taking some kids to California this weekend. Tell me about the match, the setting and kind of what this weekend's going to be all about.
It's all about getting them to a bigger level. And these pro tournaments, the first round of the pro tournament, you're going to see starting 6 for UVA, Pepperdine, UCLA. They're all going to be there. You could get them in the first round, literally, and that's what this tournament is. So you're also going to see guys that are on the pro tour. That's what it is. It's a pro tournament, and so you just never know who you get. You could get a guy 3 years out of Virginia Tech or 3 years out of UCLA or USC that's there playing and has got a pro ranking, and so. The biggest thing is leading into Tulsa, which is the All-American coming up the 1st of October. We want to really up the level, and we want to get them prepared to play big tennis. We want to go into Tulsa, with the opportunity to beat some really good players.
Chris, how optimistic are you for this spring, knowing the success your team had last year?
Well, I think optimism is maybe not the right word, but maybe an expectation.
Okay.
When we did what we did last year, and we've added the depth that we have this year, we're not really hoping to make results this year. We really expect to have results, and you really saw that this weekend. The guys went out with a different attitude. It's a different culture. They expect to get wins. They expect to beat players that are not as good as them, and they fight for the matches that they're up against a worthy opponent. And so, you see these guys out here doing extra workouts and in the weight room doing extra workouts and those kind of things, and they expect to get the wins. So, as we move through this year, I would imagine we're going to have some interviews talking about some big wins because these guys expect it.
Breaking news as we tape this interview, the 2016 spring schedule officially released. Give us insight to the schedule, how long it took to kind of build it and what you like about it.
We put a lot of thought into this schedule, a lot of time into this schedule, back and forth, and we've come up with a product that I think is just going to be outstanding. It's headlined by Florida State, a weekend down there in February. Last year we went down and played Miami, and even though our results weren't incredible down in Miami, it was one of the best trips we took, getting out of the cold weather here and getting them into the heat down there in preparation for our conference, and that's what we're going to do again. We're going to go down to Florida State and play some schools, including Florida State. And then we've got like 12 home matches next spring. We cut a lot of deals and made a lot of things work to get that many home matches, but with the conference championship going to be at home next year, we want our guys well prepared to come and win at home.
All right, sounds exciting, Chris. Appreciate the insight. And again, it's not about being optimistic, it's about expectations here this season for men's tennis. So can't wait to get it started here, all right?
Thank you so much.
That's head coach Chris Johnson. I'm Alan York for LibertyFlames.com. Now joined by sophomore Diego Castano, who made it to the semifinals down at the Southern Intercollegiate this past weekend down in Athens, Georgia. 12-12 in singles matches for this team. How did it go last weekend down in Georgia?
I think overall it went great. We were able to compete with high-level players, and I think we delivered. We had a couple guys do really well. They beat good players from Georgia, and I'm really proud of the guys, and I'm happy with myself. I competed good, and I was happy with the performance-wise, and everyone else. Good hard work.
This team last spring, Diego, had a lot of success. Good springboard of the off season. How did your summer go as you prepared here for this fall season?
Well, the summer consists of me just tennis and working out. It was mostly like probably 4 hours in the afternoon, which is 2 hours of just hitting hard with the older guy I know who played at Clemson when he was in college, and then after those 2 hours were done, it was 2 hours in the weight room just every day, and then running and just preparing myself physically.
What did you want to improve on most entering your sophomore season?
I think this whole summer I really focused on like the fitness-wise of tennis. So like as I was saying, I was playing 2 hours tennis, like intense tennis, and then 2 hours of working out and running. So I really wanted to improve my fitness out on the court and to be able to last out there and not worry about any injuries or so.
Still early on here in the fall. What's the makeup like of this team right now, chemistry-wise?
It's growing.
Yeah.
Definitely, we got 4 new guys, so we're learning a lot from them. They're learning a lot from us. So we're just trying to, I suppose, find that ground that we can just all of us can agree on and just grow from that. So I think it's going good.
All right, Diego, we appreciate your time. We'll catch up with you soon, okay?
All right, appreciate it. Thank
That's
you.
Diego Castano from Statesville, North Carolina. I'm Alan York for LibertyFlames.com.